I'm Gorilla Monsoon.
And I'm thankful that I'm not.
Oh, you just can't help yourself, can you, huh?
I don't help anyone.
Huh.
Unless they've got the cash.
Yeah, I'm going to help you out the door if you don't stop.
If you can fit
anyway,
through
folks,
it.
I'm going to knock you out.
Excuse me, but, is anyone going to introduce me, bro?
All right. And this is Vince Russo.
I thought it was the mailman.
Huh. Why don't you be serious?
Smells like one.
Well, what the frig, bro?
All right, enough. Folks, coming up in just a short is a podcast hosted by two guys you've never heard of and probably never will.
Monsoon knows a guy who knows a guy, if you know what I'm saying.
I get it.
Oh, will you stop? Folks, Chris and George or something, they do the Hot Tag Podcast, and here it is.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Hot Tag Wrestling Show. I'm Chris E. Francesco, joined by George the Animal Rogers. George, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing all right.
All right, man. Yeah, we got a fun one for you guys this week. I mean, look, they're all fun. It's when they're awful, they're fun. And we have a couple dandies for you this week. Other than that, George, not a whole bunch going on in the world of professional wrestling right now.
I mean, it's pretty quiet. Nothing major has happened recently
Yep. Nothing major.
Nothing big.
Yeah, I mean, nothing as big as, Okada and Omega. But I guess that's the thing. I saw that on Twitter and I was like, oh, I didn't even know that Okada was still wrestling. And I thought Omega still been out for like a year. But nonetheless, he took an elbow drop from about 2 feet and spat up blood all over the floor, like just a weird segment. But notwithstanding,
you know more about that than I do.
I saw it pop up on my X, and I'm thinking, I thought it was in Japan. I was like, oh no, this was on TBS television. Yeah. So I figured that Okada and Omega. I'm thinking, oh, Japan, Omega must be in Japan, but no, that was not it. But other than that, George,
I can see where you would be confused,
right? So what's going on in the world of wrestling, according to you?
Well, according to me, Chris, we did just have Money in the Bank. We also had Worlds Collide. I don't think you caught Worlds Collide. I know you came in on like the end of Money in the Bank. I think when you were able to watch this week, where Worlds Collide, which is the AAA and like NWB show, that was actually very well done. Looked really good. Mr. Iguana is the new king of the nighttime world. You need to look this guy up, Chris. He's got a puppet of an iguana on his hand.
Oh no, I looked it up.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me, is this guy new to the world of wrestling, or what? Can he actually go?
From what I saw, I mean, he had a match. I mean, he was in the Fatal 4-Way for the NXT North American title, and that was a damn good match. Or no, he was not in that. He was in the 6-man tag. I'm sorry. He was in the 6-man tag. And that was really good. Every match was extremely well done.
So as far as I can tell, is he somebody that you think they're going to be calling up to the main roster? Because, I mean, he seems to be a great act.
No, I mean, if anything, they'll just push him to what they're doing. They'll probably just push him hard in AAA.
I see. Okay.
Possibly. I mean, it was kind of great because they even had Conan on commentary. I was like, oh shit, they got Conan.
Yeah. What did you think of Worlds Collide overall?
I thought it was a very, very good show. And I love luchadors. I'm not going to hide any of that. I mean, I love the cruiserweight division WCW that they were doing on Nitro. I mean, that was second to none as far as I was concerned. And it was just great to kind of see it again. And I like it when I see the luchadors on when I'm watching Raw or SmackDown. Because they all move with this quick, fluid motion that like when I'm seeing them, it takes me back to watching Nitro and seeing like Juventud and La Parca and Super Clo and all those guys going at it. And remember, and it kind of reminded me, these were always the best matches on Nitro.
Isn't it like crazy how we watch Nitro now every week, and we're getting into the era of the cruiserweights, and it's still crazy to me that all these matches still age incredibly well.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
That's what I love so much about the cruiserweight division and the wrestlers that they had. It's not like watching, the Young Bucks or guys that try to be like those cruiserweights of that era. I mean, we were literally alive for an era where we witnessed the greatest lucha stars ever in one place, basically. It's incredible to watch, and I'm really happy to see Worlds Collide and being under, or, the AAA being under the umbrella of the WWE.
Yeah.
Another thing, it's random. I just found out today that the Undertaker, by the way, is, his 6 Feet Under podcast is under the umbrella now of WWE and Fanatics, because that podcast has been gone for like 3 months. And I thought, what, did this just stop? And like, did the Taker just get bored? And no, we found out today out of nowhere that Undertaker had emergency heart surgery the day after WrestleMania. And then we found out that his podcast is now strictly under the WWE umbrella. George, Undertaker, man, having emergency heart surgery, kind of terrifying.
I mean, he's a dead man, so I don't know what they.
Yeah.
I guess
thought he was a dead man.
I assumed his heart wasn't beating.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually the definition. But I mean, yeah, it's terrifying. But at the same point, the fact that he's able to live to tell the tale is a good change of pace from what we usually see with a lot of guys from his era. Usually they have a heart issue, and then that's the end of that. Like,
yeah,
it's a cardiac arrest at that point. Like Triple H got lucky with his.
Oh yeah, Triple H's was much worse, but yeah. Michelle McCool did say if they would have waited another day or two, it could have been a big problem.
Yeah, it's good. It was good they got it right away, and we're able to take care of him. So
for sure. Other than what we saw, thank you, on Worlds Collide, and what was your thoughts on Money in the Bank?
Money in the Bank, I thought was overall a good show. I like that Naomi won the women's Money in the Bank. They're really building her up. She's going to be a top heel for this year, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
The way they're booking her. I mean, I know I saw a lot of people bitching online, like, "Oh, like wrong choice." I'm like, if you guys have been watching consistently, it made sense. As you say, it make sense. If anybody else would have won that match, it really wouldn't have made sense. Like, this is Naomi's year. Like, she's going to get pushed up to the top. And they even like bring that up like in promos, like, "Oh, like you left." She's like, "Yeah, I left. And then I came back. Like, I walked out and then I came back, and now I'm the Money in the Bank." Now I got the Money in the Bank. Like, it's great. Yeah, I kind of love to see it. Nothing on anybody else in that match. If Rhea would have won it, I would have been just as happy. Or I'm seeing a lot of people now. I don't know, Chris, maybe you're seeing this too, but probably not. People are calling Rhea Ripley Goth Hogan.
Yeah, I'm getting really. I've heard this, and this is the problem I have. And this goes back. I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to say it until I die. Nobody hates wrestling more than wrestling fans, and I'm tired of it. Like, it's like the second we get somebody who's so great and is just so good at what they do, there's got to be this vocal minority on the IWC that start to really hate on people. I'm not going to apologize for being a mark for Bianca Belair or for Rhea Ripley, because I think they're two of the three greatest of all time.
Hands down.
And I don't understand, dude, why people, and look, I'm going to warn people, don't fall into the same trap that guys like George, myself, Dean, and so many others did by not appreciating guys like John Cena in their prime. Don't fall into that trap. Yeah. When you have talents like, I'm going to just say some names: the Rollinses, the Roman Reigns, the Rhea Ripleys, the Bianca Belairs, or the Baileys. Don't take this for granted, because it's going to go away quicker than we all would hope for, and we're going to yearn for the days 5 years from now when we're like, you know what, we really miss prime Rhea Ripley and prime Bianca Belair, instead of seeing Charlotte 900 times or Becky Lynch 900 times. So, in 1990 or in 2004 or whatever, I didn't complain when I got to see Shawn Michaels every single week on Monday Night Raw because I look at it like, man, I might not see this much longer. You know, us Shawn Michaels marks in 2002, we're like, oh my God, we get this SummerSlam match. I'm going to soak it in because this is it.
Yeah.
And, you know, we didn't think we were going to get 8 more years out of it. Same thing with like The Undertaker or when Triple H's career stopped with a snap of a finger. We didn't get that ending.
Yeah, he never got a retirement match.
Right. Stone Cold. Nobody knew that WrestleMania 19 was Stone Cold's last time wrestling. Like, so I just want to tell wrestling fans, not that what I say matters. Stop bitching. Enjoy what you're watching when somebody is great. Rhea Ripley is great, and I think she probably might be the GOAT. Bianca Belair is the best I've ever seen. I just appreciate these people because they're just so damn good, and they don't have a shelf life. So yeah, when I saw these things about Rhea Hogan, it was like, oh my God, here we go again. When somebody becomes so good, we got to tear them down. And I can't stand it. By the way, everyone, did Rhea Ripley win at WrestleMania? No. Who retained? Not Bianca didn't win and Rhea didn't win. Io Sky retained her title.
Mm-hmm.
So, by the way, did Rhea win the Money in the Bank ladder match? She did not.
No.
So it didn't. It must not have worked for her, brother.
Oh, wait a minute, Chris. While we're soliciting questions, did Rhea win her fatal 4-way on Monday to qualify for the Queen of the Ring? No, she did not.
Nope.
So there we go. So about this Goth Hogan shit, give it a fucking rest.
Yeah. Yep.
And I saw another one where it was like, oh, like this is stale. She needs a gimmick change. And like I almost came back and like, yeah, it was also stale. It was in 2000 when Stone Cold was coming out and giving people the finger and drinking beer. It's like, oh, how long do I gotta keep seeing this? Like, fuck you people. It's a gimmick that's working. And it's still over with the fans.
I know.
Let it fucking go. Just because a few virgins on Twitter are like, who have been rejected by goth girls, are like, oh, like, yeah, shut up.
Yeah, it's
like, what do you want? Do you want like a new person to get pushed every fucking month with no build?
That's the problem, man. That's a problem. That's one of the things I feel bad for.
That's attitude era style booking is what that is.
Yeah,
that great era that people talk about was the greatest of all time, but had some of the shittiest booking in fucking history.
Yeah, and it goes, and it's one of the few things left in wrestling that really pisses me off, and clearly this does, is because WWE creative and Triple H, it's not really his fault. It's just they have to adapt to their fan base. The current fan of wrestling, just because the modern fan now has the attention span of a flea, I have to suffer now because I don't get long-term, I don't get storylines. I don't get, the stories that I used to engage in the Ruthless Aggression era when Shawn Michaels and Triple H would have like a 6 or 8 month rivalry where they would be at each other's throats every Monday on Raw. And it's like, I don't get that anymore. I don't get the John Cena and Randy Orton rivalries. Because God forbid there's 3 weeks in a row of building a storyline before IWC small brains come on the on Twitter and say, well, this is boring. This is the same thing every week. Then all of a sudden WWE has to follow suit and be like, well, Jey Uso, some people don't like him on Twitter. We got to take the title off of him. Like, what world is this now? It's like you said, it's hotshot booking. It's Crash TV in a new era. It's let me just get this done, and then in a month we'll move on to the next. And that's why I actually look back now and I appreciate the finish his story thing with Cody Rhodes because they stuck with that for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And to me, for the most part, it worked. The Bloodline, 4 years, it worked. It can work. But it's just they react too quickly to things.
And the funny thing was as soon as as they finished the story and the Bloodline, as soon as it started getting a little stale, something happened to where it brought you right back in.
Yeah.
Like it didn't really matter what it's like. Oh, like here's another piece to this puzzle. It's like, oh shit, like here, like I mean, not to like quote triple together, like just enjoy the show, but yeah, enjoy the fucking show. Let a story play out. Imagine Star Wars just being one movie.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Like Spaceballs was for 38 years.
I was actually hoping that they were never going to make a sequel to Spaceballs, but it's happening now, so I can only hope that it's going to be good.
George, we're getting the return of Rick Moranis, so let's just deal with it.
Listen, I mean, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I'm just saying is all. But also with the at Money in the Bank, Dom did retain his Intercontinental title in a quick little match against a guy from AAA. So really not narrow. That was something that built up at Worlds Collide, and they had a match Money in the Bank. So we had our 5-match pay-per-view. The real Hogan of the women's division, Becky Lynch, got herself another title because God forbid Becky goes without having a belt around her waist for too long. So she's now the women's Intercontinental champion, which is great. I fucking guess. Don't talk about how don't know why we can't fucking build stars when if you gave Lyra 3 clean pins over Becky Lynch, that would have like catapulted her. But nope, we don't do that. Becky's got to win.
Yep.
But on the inverse, Bayley shows up on Monday night and beats the shit out of Becky.
I know. Yep.
But Bayley and Becky do not need to fight over the mid-card women's title.
No, they don't. They don't. It's just,
and I don't want to hear any of this shit. Oh, well, Becky legitimized the title. Fuck you. That's not what that's about.
It's not.
You build up the person who's holding the belt, and that legitimizes it. That's how it's done. How many times did your Intercontinental title change hands in 1999 alone?
Oh boy,
too many.
Yeah.
Too many is my response. 3 people who were in DX held that fucking title in 1999.
Just to remind people, the title doesn't make the wrestler makes the title.
Exactly.
So
like D'Lo Brown in the European title.
Oh my God, right? Exactly. All right, so before we completely go off the rails with things that are pissing us off, let's get to something that happened 29 years ago that pissed us off. So why not we just go there? We are covering Raw versus Nitro from May 6th, 1996. George, we are in May of 96. How exciting is it that the time is near?
The time is nigh. We're here.
Yep.
Fucking year. Soon.
I know. So here we go. We're going to start with Monday Nitro tonight. We are live from Daytona Beach, Florida. Your hosts are Eric Bischoff, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and we're still getting Steve Mongo McMichael. Won't be for too much longer, but for now, he's here. We get Randy Savage to kick us off here, going up against Hugh Morris. By the way, the only thing that I take away from this match is how many times and for how long did I hear that damn bell ring at the end? It would not stop.
It was. That's all the match was just the bell ringing.
That's what it was.
Fucking terrible.
The bell just kept ringing.
Why is Savage having these fucking matches?
Dude, you and I have talked about this, and it really pisses me off how much WCW dropped the ball with Randy Macho Man Savage, man. It's really, really tough to see sometimes. Like you have, at this point of time in 1996, correct me if I'm wrong, he's probably the second biggest star in wrestling history at this point in time.
Probably, yeah.
And he's wrestling Hugh Morris as an opener on Monday Nitro.
Yeah.
You're the second biggest star in the world is wrestling Hugh Morris.
Like, do they think that they're doing everybody a favor by saying, "Hey, we're going to give you Macho to start off and get the crowd hot"? It's like, yeah.
Absolutely, that's their thinking.
But he's facing a fucking jobber extraordinaire, Bill DeMott, Hugh Morris. Like, you out of your fucking mind? Like, what are we even doing? He's still feuding with Flair. Why am I not seeing Savage go against I don't know. Chris Benoit, since he's in the fucking Horseman. What
Yep.
about Arn? Like anything along those lines. Why am
Yeah.
I seeing this horse shit that's not going to have a fucking payoff?
That's the problem. I mean, we get to the end. It's about 2 minutes. It's a disqualification. Savage is dropping elbows. Local law enforcement comes out and they haul Savage away. I'm just thinking, what's
This trope is so overused
It
now.
is. I know. It's absolutely ridiculous, man.
And this is before we're getting it weekly on Raw, when Austin was getting arrested every week because he was attacking Vince McMahon.
Right.
But not because he was repeatedly using the stunner in a match against somebody. The cops didn't come down.
Mm-hmm. Let's get to the next match that actually kind of makes things a lot better. I thought it was the match of the week for both shows. Dean Malenko versus Justin Tiger Liger. Justin Thunder Liger. I'm sorry.
Jushin Thunder Liger.
That's right. So
yin yang.
this was great. Later on in the match, Liger hits a senton for 2, a nasty brain buster. And then you have they go to backstage. They cut this match. They go backstage with Flair spending like a ridiculous amounts of Randy Savage's money via champagne, probably really good Coke too. Who knows? But Malenko works on a toe hold on Liger to, goes to work on the leg. So we get back to actual wrestling here later on. Malenko cuts off Liger with the exploding gutbuster of death, which is one of my favorite moves. And follows with a power bomb, but Liger reverses that for a 2 count. And then Malenko hits a Liger bomb of his own at 6 minutes and 50 seconds. It's like they cut the match off just as they were really starting to get hot. Regardless, I think this was just so much fun to really see these two. It's a precursor for all that's to come on Monday Nitro. What was your thoughts on Liger versus Malenko?
They're going to have better matches later down the road.
For sure. Yeah. Definitely.
This was an appetizer for what was to come. I did not like that they cut away from the match and decided to go see what Ric Flair was doing in the back. That if anything, just felt disrespectful.
Yeah. I agree.
Because we're getting legitimately good wrestling, and they cut away to show Flair spending Randy Savage's money. Now, if you're booking a show, Christopher, wouldn't you have done that during the Savage match instead?
Bingo. Yep. Yeah. Again, George, I'm really getting tired of you bringing logic into these completely illogical Nitro segments.
That's my problem. I bring the logic to everything, and I get shunned.
I know. We get a Ric Flair promo, which says a whole lot of nothing, basically, except hearing that Mongo's wife is likely going to be in his limo afterwards. I'm sure, Space
Why
Mountain's
is Mongo
involved.
still just sitting at the
Dude,
desk
right?
and not doing anything about it? No wonder they got divorced.
Yeah, right. Next match, Lord Steven Regal versus Sting. Look, I'm a sucker for anything Steven Regal in this era. I thought Regal is one of the most underrated workers of all time. And I had such a fun time watching Regal in this era of Monday Nitro. But this match, it wasn't their best. They're going to have a better one, a much better one. But this match goes just about 7 minutes. Did you notice that Sting had the number 29 on his tights? Do you know why?
Because he knew that 29 years later we were going to be reviewing that episode of Nitro?
Yeah, number 29. Let me Google it real quick.
Who the fuck knows?
It doesn't say it. I don't see it anywhere. I was just wondering. I'm like, why does he have the number 29 on his tights? Nonetheless, near the end, Sting comes back, misses a Stinger splash, but reverses a butterfly suplex to get the pin. Sting busted out some pretty inventive finishes around this time. He was clearly trying to work on his moveset. I love Sting in any era. So I was, again, a really big fan of this match. What was your thoughts on this? I know you're a big Regal fan as well.
Yeah, it was a great match. They're going to have a better one at the Great American Bash in June.
Mhm.
So it was good, but I know what it's going to be later. I know it's going to be like a 5-star classic later.
Mhm. Mhm.
But we also had Sting doing the mocking, like the little like gay gestures, like where he's kind of
Oh
calling Regal
boy.
gay. It's like,
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty much describes America, and a Brit is acting proper, and we have to call it gay.
Oh my god. 1996, different time, different place. So what's not a 5-star classic is our main event of the evening. And that is the WCW World Heavyweight title, the Giant versus Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
But that's not what we were promised.
No, we were not. Sadly, Lex Luger was having vehicle trouble and was unable to show up for the match he apparently begged for. So, give him something better. Hacksaw Jim Duggan offers to step up.
Thank God.
I know. Whatever. I mean,
could have been worse. It could have been Hogan, and it would have been a win
yeah,
for Hogan.
right. I know. Giant misses a charge later on in the match. Duggan goes for that tape in his panties, but the choke slam finishes him at 3 minutes and 13 seconds. A bunch of people run out to save Duggan. It's choke slams for everyone. Finally, Flair, leaves his fancy meal, cracks a chair over the Giant's head. Sting joins him and helps bring the Giant down with a set of, to set up their title match at Slamboree. Finally, after all of that, Lex Luger arrives fashionably late and has harsh words for the Giant rather than actually, hitting him. But, words can hurt too. Words can hurt. I mean, not as much as the Zubaz that Luger was rocking here, but
yeah, let me tell you, he must have borrowed those off of Bulldog.
Yeah, or Hawk.
Must be a Chicago thing.
Yeah. Overall, again, George, I thought it was a pretty good Nitro, man. There was no Hogan.
Yeah, I mean,
it was a good Nitro.
It was good. I mean, there was a lot of shit that didn't make sense in this episode. Where it's
right,
where part of me was like, I know Hogan usually has like a hand in the booking, but it's like, who did this one?
Yeah.
Like I said, like the thing with Flair that should have happened during the Savage match to keep fueling that.
Right.
Like not interrupting like Dean Malenko and Jushin Thunder Liger. Oh, we do so much for the younger wrestlers. We got them coming, and then you cut off their match to go in the back and see what Flair's doing.
Right.
Right. Like telling people we're going to get Giant and Luger, and then it's Giant and Hacksaw. It's like, that's the worst switcheroo of all time.
And then Luger shows up and we get no physicality.
None.
He just talks.
None. Yeah. It's
odd booking.
Yeah. Extremely fucking questionable. Yeah. Like Sting's having singles match. I mean, he had a good match with Regal, but he's one half of the tag team champions. Why are we not seeing anything with the tag teams? Oh, because they were on the fucking dark match.
That's correct.
Steiner, it was the Steiners and Public Enemy were one dark match. Another one was Harlem Heat and the Nasty Boys. And then the dark match main event was the Booty Man and Disco Inferno. Did they hate that fucking crowd tonight?
They really did. Something was wrong there to where the crowd did something wrong to Bischoff.
What did they do? Were they caught? Were they caught saying some foul words about the Hulkster brother?
Oh man, maybe in the dirt sheets. I'm sure. Let's go over to see.
Somebody call Meltzer. We got to find out the truth.
Well, Meltzer would just bury Hogan anyway.
Plans change. He has a microphone right in front of his fucking mouth. So
let's see if Sioux City, Iowa gets a better treatment from Monday Night Raw here. It's a taped show. Your host is Vince McMahon and Jerry the King Lawler. We get a pretty decent opener, man. Wildman Mark Marrow, who is now with the WWF, versus a 1-2-3 Kid. And man, like this is one of the last couple times we're gonna see the kid on WWF television for a few years, but damn, dude, what an opener this was.
Yeah, that was a fucking. I mean, and like considering how good that match was and how well they worked together, it was criminal. It was never going to happen again.
I know, you're so right. Yeah, this was a great one. Like this was, Waltman showing how good he really could be when he gave a shit. Really, Kid was just another one, like cranking it up to another level right here just before bailing to WCW after getting a pretty decent deal, man. But I'll tell you what, this was a terrific opener. I was like, wow, right off the bat, Raw starting off hot, which is something we didn't really get often in this era.
No, fucking rare. It was rare.
Yeah.
We ever see that.
Yep. Meanwhile, in the back, we get Ted DiBiase and Stone Cold Steve Austin accepting Savio Vega's strap match for the pay-per-view. But if Savio loses, he has to become their chauffeur. Where's Virgil? So
give it time.
Yeah, I know.
He'll pop up.
We go to the British Bulldog versus Fatu.
Time to make a difference. My man Fatu. I don't care. I love Fatu.
Oh, I didn't mind. It was here, neither here nor there. It didn't bother me.
Dude could go with anybody and make them look good. Case in point.
I agree, man.
The original 5 moves of Doom Master, fucking Davey Boy Smith.
Yep. We get to the the original third man.
Mabel.
I'm sorry, Mabel was first. And then Bulldog. Fatu actually had a pretty good offensive showing here. He was making a pretty decent comeback at the end. Walks right into a clothesline that gets the patented 180 flip sell, which I always loved when Rikishi or Fatu did that.
He would sell a clothesline from China where it looked like his soul left his body.
I know.
He went out of his way to make her look like a fucking Hulk.
I know. God. But the normal Bulldog power slam gets the clean finish at 8 minutes. I just figured like this was fine. It didn't bother me. It didn't take me out. I'm just like, this was fine. This was fine. Not bad.
But
I'm happy that this didn't open the show because historically this is an opener for Raw.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will say though, there was a little shades of something there in 96 when in the middle of that match, all of a sudden here come a couple other Samoans.
Oh yes.
For like it was supposed to be like that. It was supposed to be like that Samoan like gangster gimmick where it was going to be Samu, the other half of the Head Shrinkers, and Matt Anawahi, who would eventually become Rosie later, the brother to yours and my tribal chief Roman Reigns. Like that, it looked like they were like trying to recruit him. Hey, come back over to the family. Like.
Yeah.
Was this the initial genesis for the Bloodline?
Right?
All the way back in 96?
But what's crazy is like they show them and they make it a point to talk about it on the air, and then it was just completely abandoned.
Yeah, it was dropped it was never heard from again. Like damn. I was like part of me's like, oh, like what could have been, but it's like no. Like they didn't have enough Samoans in the company for it to really work.
For sure.
Vince sitting there like, you wait 20 years, this is going to be great. You wait 30 years, this is going to be great.
It's going to be great. You don't know it yet, but it's going to be great.
He's sitting there, he's like, I guess you guys aren't ready for that yet, but your kids are going to love it.
Oh my God. It always comes back.
And it's great because the other member was Rosie, who's Roman Reigns' brother. So it's like it was there the whole time.
I know.
I was intrigued in that. I was like, holy shit. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Yeah, that part was really cool.
Bloodline in 96?
I know, right? The original Bloodline in 96. And then we get, I don't know why this is on television, but whatever. The Body Donnas versus the Great Techno Team 2000, baby.
Goats.
Why? I mean, come on.
The son of Bill Watts and somebody else.
By the way, this got more time than the Bulldog in Fatu and a little less time than Marrow and 1-2-3 Kid. What are we doing here on a 1-hour television show?
Trying to boost a tag team division that's non-existent.
I guess, man. This is, this is how they fill 10 minutes of television. Like, this is why is Techno Team 2000 getting television time? I mean, the Body Donnas I get, but like apparently the Rockers, won the rematch to earn a title shot, but the Godwins were the ones who ended up with the tag titles. So I don't know where the hell they unearthed Techno Team 2000 after their short and hilariously bad introduction back in 95, but they're back again. Like, what? How does this make sense?
Vince has never known how to book tag teams. He got lucky in 2000 with the Hardys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian, Too Cool, and TNA. Like, he got lucky.
My
with actually having
assumption,
good tag teams.
If I remember correctly, I'm going to Google this after. I'm sorry if I'm getting this wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. I think right around this time was when Bill Watts was back in the creative. And,
that explains why Eric Watts is on my TV.
And I'm about to say, I wonder if that explains why Eric Watts is here. But yeah, Bill Watts didn't last too long, and neither did his shit ass son. Main event time, finally something better, but it wasn't as good. Undertaker versus Owen Hart is your main event. Apparently, Goldust now has to defend the title against the Undertaker in a casket match at the pay-per-view because reasons.
Goldust should be pissed.
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck, man? What did I even do?
you kind of feel bad for him because after Razor leaves, Goldust is like a man with no island. It's like it's directionless now. Like, really, did like I totally miss the issue behind this feud between the last week or two where it's now Taker and Goldust? But whatever, we get later on the match. Taker, Paul Bear runs away from Owen. Owen works on Taker's leg. He tries the sharpshooter and gets chokeslam. Taker throws him out of the ring, and Goldust assists Owen back in with a squeeze of the ass. That was a nice little grab there.
Yeah, just a good helping hand.
Yeah, good game, Owen. Get back in there.
Yeah, back in there, champ.
Taker finishes this with a tombstone at 8 minutes and 35 seconds. This was not good. I mean, I was really looking forward to Taker and Owen, and I'm like, oh man, like what a waste of these two greats. Like just throwing these two together and not allowing them to actually have a really good working match because we were too busy giving 9 minutes to the Body Donnas and Techno Team 2000.
Yeah.
So that's where Vince's mind was at this time, that Techno Team 2000 gets more time in the ring than Owen and Taker. Bullshit.
Where's Mankind? Where's Shawn?
Exactly. Where's Mankind?
Triple
Where's
H
Shawn?
on commentary. Like,
yeah. like what the heck? Like, give me something. Look, this was and by the way, I want to remind everybody that Raw smashed Monday Nitro in the ratings on this night, a 4.1 to a 1.9. And George, I think by far, Nitro was better.
I think it's a lot closer than by far because
interesting.
Because the Mark Marrow 1-2-3 Kid match was damn good.
It was
comparatively speaking, like comparing it to Nitro, that was the Malenko Liger match of Raw. Because as far as like those were the best matches on each show. And
I agree.
And Fatu and Bulldog was better than it should have been. If that makes sense, like if you were to look at it on paper, you're like, oh, like this probably isn't really gonna be all that great. And you look at it, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot Fatu can work his ass off.
Yeah,
and like make Bulldog look great, which is exactly what that was.
Yeah,
and then the main event was just, I mean, it was good, but it wasn't what you would expect from two guys like Taker and Owen. So
because it was filler to tell a new
Yeah.
story.
So, like, I mean, I'll give the point to Nitro because I thought it was slightly better, but I don't think it was a wide margin. Like, it was a close. These shows were a lot closer than they have been. I'll put it to you that way.
That I totally agree with. To me, what put it over the top for Nitro was I really did like Regal versus Sting. I really enjoyed that match. So, I mean, I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed Bulldog and Fatu. But again, I enjoyed Bulldog and Fatu. But yeah, overall, I don't think the ratings really told the story of the shows.
No.
I don't know how in the world. I don't know how there was 4.1 to a 1.9. Like, it hasn't been that kind of a difference since the Monday Night Wars started. I don't know what happened there.
No clue.
That's just so weird to me. That's a beating. I mean, that's a beating in the ratings. I don't know. Maybe because the brother wasn't there. So,
the old brother.
The old brother. I think George and I, we give the nod, not by much, to Monday Nitro, even though Nitro was demolished in the ratings on this night. Next week, it kind of goes a little bit back to normal in terms of ratings. Raw still pretty much dominates, but it's not a 4.1 to a 1.9. And then it starts trending and it really starts going towards Nitro. So we all know why, and we're getting to that point. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to spoil anything. We'll get to it in the next few weeks for sure. But overall, George, man, I actually enjoyed watching both shows this week.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good week for wrestling television.
Yeah, it was not a week where I'm like, all right, got to get through this. It was all right. That was pretty decent. I'm happy with watching both of those shows. But yeah, so, thank you to everybody who tuned in here tonight. We are live here on YouTube and Facebook and X. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and of course, ring the bell for when we go live again next week. George, what is coming up on the Multiverse Movie Podcast?
The Multiverse Movie Podcast, we had to shift a couple things around, but nothing too extreme. So we were going to do a movie this week, but we watched it late, so we were not able to record it this week. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to swap weeks. So this week will be a top 10. We're doing top 10 worst sequels to movies, but like we're throwing a little caveat in it. The sequel has to have been released in theaters.
Interesting.
Because there's a lot of shitty sequels that were direct to VHS or direct to DVD or like that. Just don't, like they like all the Disney animated sequels, like Return to Jafar and like Lion King 2. Those all they didn't see the light of day in theaters.
Yeah.
So our list is strictly going to be shitty sequels that went to that end up gracing us with their presence on the big screen.
Yeah.
So like it's to make it a little easier on ourselves, so we don't have to go scouring through fucking hours of, like The Crow 4 or some shit like that was released on DVD. Like, it's not needed, not necessary.
Right.
But before we bounce out of here, though, Chris, I do want to kind of piss a little bit.
Oh.
When it comes to, it's the dirt sheets.
Okay.
I got to go back. I got to go back to these fucking guys.
Go.
Because we did have, now, like, obviously there's been some controversy with WWE over the last week or so with on June 1st, R-Truth put out a tweet announcing that he has been released. And then he shows up at Money in the Bank, surprise, interfering in the John Cena match and like revealed into like a massive pop. Like it was wild. And then the press conference, and then they do the post show, and then they asked Triple H, what was going on. Then Triple H sitting there with a smirk. He's like, "Yep, did you enjoy it?" It's like, yeah, it's part of the show. And then he's just lying. He doesn't have to fucking tell us anything. Exactly. He doesn't have to tell us anything at all. Nope. So why is it that these pieces of shit in the fucking dirt sheet, why they got to feel entitled that they need to get the full goddamn story and get it out to us? Why do I need to know? Why do I need to know that there's friction backstage It's like, oh, Triple H is mad at, or Triple H is unhappy with Nick Khan. Great, open up that article. It's just he was upset that Nick Khan re-signed R-Truth. Probably not because he re-signed behind his back, but probably he had that Triple H now has to go through his booking and figure out how to get him into the story.
Right.
That's probably what it is. I don't think it's anything major than that. We're all jumping the gun because the fucking idiot dirt sheets, all of them, Fightful, Observer, WrestleVotes, PWI Insider, like they all have to just spew the bullshit out that they get because they need to ruin the illusion for everybody. They need to let us know there's drama going on backstage. They need to let us know whose contracts are up and who isn't. I don't give a shit. I want to see what's on my TV. I want to enjoy that without these jerk-offs pulling the curtain back every fucking week to tell me what's going on.
What's crazy to me is when the dirt sheets make the claim, right? They make the claim that it wasn't a work. And I'm under the firm belief that it was. And I don't think I can be convinced otherwise. The funny thing is how these dirt sheets work. Yes, they are making a show that pulls the curtain back, but that's also produced by them. So it's going to be kind of,
it's still,
it's good. Still going to be part work.
they're in control of the curtain. So they're only going to let us see what they want us to see. Kayfabe in the traditional sense is dead, but it is also evolved into something else now. Kayfabe has basically now turned into us believing what the dirt sheets are writing. Yeah, because they're not getting legitimate scoops.
Yeah,
and that's probably why they jumped all over this with the R-Truth thing to let us know. Oh, like he was actually fired this and it. They're pissed because they weren't clued into what was going on.
Yeah. Look, kayfabe is definitely dead, but still, it could be controlled if it's being produced by the company that can create it or not.
Yes.
But my issue was with the dirt sheets in this was, okay, well, Triple H is lying. You know why he's lying? Because R-Truth went on X and said it wasn't a work. Of course, the wrestler is going to go on a social media platform after turning heel and say it wasn't a work. To me, it's just how stupid and dumb these fake journalists are in pro wrestling where, well, it's got to be, Triple H has to be lying. The wrestler just went on social media and said it wasn't a work. Well, look, I don't know what to tell you. If you want to believe everything that a wrestler, a character says on X, go for it. If it gets people to talk about you, Sean Ross Sapp and Dave Meltzer, all you losers who continue to act like you know anything about the wrestling business, because 75 to 85% of the people working in the WWE will tell you so much made up fake things because they know they're going to put it out there. Yeah, R-Truth's son said it wasn't a work because I guess R-Truth doesn't talk to his son and doesn't say, hey, we're going to run with this.
But once again, whether it was a work or whether it wasn't, why do I need to know the difference?
Yeah, who cares really?
Is that if I know it's a work or if I know it was legit, is that going to ruin my viewing experience of what I'm seeing?
No.
It was great to see him show up. My immediate reaction when he showed up was like, holy, and I texted you, I was like, holy shit, R-Truth is back.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't sit there and like say, oh, well, I guess Triple H is lying to us. He wasn't fired at all. Or maybe he showed up and signed a contract later. Maybe I don't care and I don't need to know all these things. When Triple H says just enjoy the product, this is what he's talking about.
Just remember, George, dirt sheet writers, they're not trying to ruin the business. They're trying to make it more entertaining.
I like how I get shit. Like whenever like somebody posts something and or I'll comment on it, I'll be like, oh, like per Fightful, and I'll put the laugh emoji. And then they're like, oh, well, they know more than you do about it. Well, yeah, that's their job. But I also know that they are highly fucking questionable with their sources. I know that for a fact from you, from when you were doing some freelance writing from NXT.
You know
I
what's
know
funny?
that,
Tony
I know
Schiavone.
it's all.
Tony Schiavone said it best when he. I was listening to a podcast that he did a couple years ago, and I loved his response to a Meltzer report. He said it's bullshit. It's bullshit journalism reporting on a bullshit business.
Yeah.
So come on. I mean, if everything is a work, who cares? That's the point of it, because it's not real.
And just and just in terms of a comparative aspect of this, Chris, you and I are both fans of the MCU.
Yeah, for sure.
Clearly. No.
Are you telling?
It's
Wait,
what we do.
are you going to tell me that Iron Man's not real?
I hate to burst your bubble, but after, like, let's just go Age of Ultron.
Yeah,
because that's about halfway through the MCU. Well, not halfway through, we're still going, but like halfway through, like phase 1 or the multiverse saga. At the end of Age of Ultron, were you curious to know what Robert Downey Jr.'s contract status was with Marvel, to know how many movies he had left?
No.
You know, when Quicksilver, or not Quicksilver, when Pietro Maximoff, because he's not called Quicksilver, when Pietro Maximoff was killed in Age of Ultron, did you go and look and say, oh, is he going to show up somewhere later? Is there another movie? Like, no. I just took it for what it was.
Right.
Why is wrestling the only medium where the curtain needs to be pulled back all the way and see how the hot dogs are made?
Again, because we've now, that's WWE is partially to blame for that. But it's the dirt sheets. It's the social media. It's instant gratification. We need to know what's constantly going on. And that's a great point too. I think to some level, fans like to think they have control over what happens. That's a great point.
But at the same point, when that happens, the fans hijack the show and they end up having to change fucking course. Let me go back to 2014 when Batista's return was fucking ruined by the Yes Movement and Daniel Bryan. Because he had to, because they wanted him to win the title. So they literally hijacked the fucking show. Batista never got his final world title run, which is what he wanted. And then he's like, I quit.
Which is what he agreed to also.
Yeah. But it's like, I don't need the fans hijacking the show. And it's the fucking American fans that do it too.
Yeah.
They're the ones that do it. When they go to England, they go to Germany, Japan, India, even Saudi, the fans do not sit there and just say the most dumbest fucking shit to try to hijack a show.
Yeah, I agree.
We are the fans. We are. Did I get muted? No, I'm sorry. Okay, I thought I hit the button.
You're good.
Like we're the fans. We're here to just to enjoy this. If I go and watch a fucking, like when I go see Fantastic Four, if somebody didn't show up that I wanted to, am I going to go on a tweeting spree against Kevin Feige?
Yes.
Like, oh, I can't believe you didn't put Mole Man in Fantastic Four. Like, am I gonna do that? No. Because I'm just gonna fucking take it for what it is. I'll take it for what it is here. Yeah, the fans, we all have people that we want to see on a regular basis, but I also don't want, like, say, Seth Rollins' storyline. I don't think his shit should get shunted because somebody wants the fucking New Day to main event the show.
Right.
Like,
that goes back to me talking about the attention span and how WWE has literally now adopted the same attention span because unfortunately they have to keep up with how these fans just hijack shows. Look, Karrion Kross has still yet to barely been used, and he's been super popular online, but no offense to the guy we talked about earlier, this Iguana dude is going to get more TV time than Karrion Kross. Yeah. Like, it's because he's popular on social media or a certain select number of groups. This is my problem with everything.
There probably is a plan in place for Karrion Kross because I know Triple H does like him. He is high on him. But, I mean, he has to be because why else would he have brought him back after he was released? If he didn't give a shit, he never would have brought him back.
Well, his contract's ending soon, George. So.
Oh, I forgot. We're not allowed to. I'm supposed to know all of this shit.
Yeah, his contract's ending.
But
Come on.
But like there might be something in place. We keep seeing what Sami Zayn. Are they going to have a few going into SummerSlam? Because that'd be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I don't think Sammy's winning money. I don't think Sammy's going to win King of the Ring.
I don't. He
might, but
so.
I don't think so.
Who knows? But that was a good rant. I can talk about the dirt sheets all day and night because I'm just tired. And the fact that they hate when we try to tell them that they're poison to the business. Like you literally make a living out of, spoiling every single thing that the wrestling company in the wrestling world does. Like, can you imagine what would happen if, Daniel RPK just came out the day of the release of Fantastic Four and spoiled it for everyone? Yeah. He would lose his job eventually because, that's just not the way things work. Like, I can't imagine waking up every day and getting juicy rumors and spoilers of a pro wrestling show and just making sure everyone knows what's going to happen before it happens. How does that to you? How do you wake up and be like, I'm a benefit to the business? How is that benefiting anybody? You're literally ruining it for people who also pay for tickets to go see something and to be shocked by something.
Yeah. The way the ticket prices are now, yeah, they're
the way what TKO's doing. Yeah. It's like, geez, let me know like 2 weeks ahead of time before I buy my ticket. The way TKO is driving up prices, and I'll decide if I want to go or not.
So why don't you let me know 4 months before the show so I can save up money?
Right. But all right, George, good stuff, man. I really appreciate it. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back here next week for another edition of our Monday Night War Rewind. Again, looking forward to it as always. Again, if you're watching us on YouTube, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, ring the bell for notifications when we're going to go live again. But yeah, appreciate you all. Thank you so very much. So for George Rogers, I'm Christy Francesco, and we'll catch you guys down the road. Have a great one, everybody. Take care.